this just may be a personal thing for me, but obviously email communications are great and they're quick and easy and inexpensive, but when you get an email and it's got about 5 or 6 or 7 different attachments to it to go in to find information, and you're trying to just whiz through your email when you start your day, that's overwhelming to me. So an email with less is sometimes better, or just short quips about what it's about with the links so that you can find out what you're needing to at a quick glance, and if it's applicable, you can get right in there and do it. Otherwise, you know there's something you maybe need to pay attention to later on, and that's helpful.
Well, I'll address this to Gary. You know, back in the old days, you used to have people come around to our agencies and sit down with the people and kind of go through the different things that are available. And I think that's one of the things that we've kind of missed. And I'm just talking to other agents, and it's not just your company, it's other companies as well. And I know that's expensive, but I do think that, and you know, if that could happen on a yearly basis or every 6 months, I think we would get a lot more use out of everything that's out there just by having an agency visit by someone like yourself, and you've been in my office before, so I do appreciate that when you come out and do that.
Well, let me ask you this, Jim, along those lines, and anybody else. What about small agency group meetings? So, you know, coming to a particular area and inviting groups of agents in for a 1 or 2 hour session to be brought up. Does that make anybody uncomfortable, where one of your competitors from the town next to you may be sitting in the same meeting?
I personally think that would be very effective, where we don't have to travel to Des Moines or Lincoln or somewhere with our staff.
I know I've done that down in Florida. We've set up kind of satellite meetings, and we've had 6 or 8 different agencies come in, and it was effective. But okay, thank you. Thanks for the feedback.
I'll throw one to Mark and Michelle here. Change is always met with some resistance by staff, agencies, people that are building websites. It's new. How do you overcome that? How do you work with your staff, and how do you work with people that you're building a site for to help them ease through that and to continue making the changes and utilize the technology once they have it?
I think when you're first building a site, I think it's great to just clearly identify what you want out of that site. What do you want it to do for you? How can it really benefit you? I think if you identify all those things and you gather up all that information, then building a site wouldn't be that difficult. It could come together pretty easy if you do that.
In our office, I have one person, and it is a young person, that manages both our website and our Facebook presence. And any quote requests or applications that come through our website get designated to this individual, and she follows up on them. So most of my staff is really not involved in the Facebook or our website. It's limited just to 2 or 3 people.
Going back to what Jim said, and this has been a conversation in our shop for the last 6 months. When I bought my agency in '99 from my dad, we didn't have any internet quoting at all with any company. We had one set of software installed on a machine that one company was doing, and everything else was rated out of a manual. And so with people in here, you all understand that. The agents that we've brought on since 2001 or 2002 have no idea what that's like. That we still have one carrier that's not automated and still quotes out of a manual, and to get the agents to even go and quote that is next to impossible. So what I've tried to do with my staff is communicate to them how much it's changed in just the last 11 years, and the fact that it's going to continue to change, and it's going to have to be a daily thing. They're just going to have to understand that we are increasing this and we are moving this forward, and they're just going to have to understand that we've gone paperless, and I still have trouble with a couple of agents that have been with me longer they think it takes them more time to work their mail and work their downloads than what it was when they did the paper. And eventually they get it, and it is quicker, and we move through things, but it is a daily challenge to convince the staff that we're moving forward and it is helping us in the long run. So, yes.
This is not really an IT question, but for you gentlemen own agencies, and you mentioned meetings, how often do you have staff meetings?
Not often enough, so I'll ask him.
Yeah, not often enough. I've got a partner, and we meet probably every other week, but I'll meet with my staff every week.
Okay.
And talk about changes, company changes, agency changes, what's going on.
Okay. I'm thinking back to the question was asked earlier about how do you get information about what the companies are doing.
And when you get to an old guy like me, I'm a face-to-face person. I do better sitting down and having a cup of coffee and saying what's new. And yet, new people are probably better at electronics or something of that nature. So maybe a combination of both. I like your idea of having the small regional meetings. I would jump right in the middle of that. And some people in our office probably would say, nah, you go ahead and go. I'll say, here, read my email. So, yeah, I think a combination of that's good.
I agree completely. We were talking about that just a little while ago. You know, at the end of the day, this is all about relationships, and
Exactly.
always will be,
Yeah.
even with all this technology.
Yes.
And the technology helps. I have 3 remote locations that I am in myself quite often, and so I meet with the staff that are there at those times. For things that I don't want to repeat 3 times, I am bad about sending emails, but the staff understands that there are times that I have to just communicate with everybody all at once. But I do try to be at the location and talk to my people as much as I can, because they get it better if they don't pick it up as much from an email as they do when you're there talking to them. So I've tried DimDim, which is web conferencing. Allows up to 4 webcams on your screen at once, so that we can have one in each office and do more full staff meetings. And it's functional, but it still doesn't work completely.
Yeah.
And we just don't get to have the full staff meetings that I would like to have, and have a good way to do that yet. So, thank you for the question. Other questions?
I have a question for Mark. Being in a small agency, or in a small town,
Right.
you rule like a lot of us are.
Anyway, being in a small communities, you said you've got a Facebook, and you also got a website. I'm curious, once you put your website up, what is your traffic on that? How much business, or what do you see pulling into the agency from the website perspective?
We do quote, and we collect not all the data for a quote, but we get quote requests through our website, and we probably write, I would say 2 or 3 pieces of business a week off of our website requests. Now, our Facebook traffic is high, but we kind of work that. So I have a young lady in my office that manages that for me. But we're also real careful, and we've talked a lot about it. We try not to advertise ourselves too much. It's kind of just a contact with customers and people in our county and our communities. I think that it's good to let your services be out there and let them know what you do. But when we first started it, I plugged a deal on there, and it was kind of like an ad. Come see us, come do it. I want you to come in, stop in. And my wife called me and said, "Take that off and don't ever do it again, or I'm gonna unfriend you." Because she said the last thing I want is to be advertised to on my Facebook page. So we do have to be careful about what we put on there. We put a lot of community and school events. We try to be proactive in that direction. And actually, what we do is we put those on our website. A lot of times it's a PDF file or something we put on our website and link it from our Facebook page. So we have people hitting our Facebook page and our website. So they're seeing our website when they pick up things off our Facebook page.